Have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow old with grace while others become bitter and lonely? What makes the difference between just getting older and truly flourishing in your later years? If you want to spend your golden years surrounded by peace, respect, and true happiness, understanding a few simple but powerful truths can make all the difference. Anna Miller, a respected elder in her community, often shared her wisdom about 3 critical areas that transformed her approach to aging: the things one should never say, actions to avoid, and types of people to keep distance from. These weren't abstract ideas, but practical insights that reshaped her daily interactions, strengthened her relationships, and protected her mental well-being. By embracing these principles, Anna discovered how to speak in ways that earned respect, recognize behaviors that drained her energy, and create an environment that fostered happiness and longevity. Her story reveals the transformative power of thoughtful communication, intentional actions, and careful relationship choices. If you haven't already, save this guide and share it with others who might benefit from these valuable insights. Now, let's begin this journey toward a more fulfilling and graceful aging experience through Anna's 3 principles for wise living. The foundation of wisdom. As people grow older, they naturally gather a wealth of experiences, both joyful and challenging, that shape who they become. Yet aging brings its own set of emotional and mental challenges. Many wonder how to maintain the respect of others and ensure their later years contain peace, love, and meaningful connections. The answer lies in how people engage with the world around them. In their golden years, how they communicate, behave, and choose companions makes all the difference in their aging journey. It's not just about growing older. It's about growing wiser, nurturing relationships, and finding peace. There are certain things people should avoid saying, actions they should refrain from, and types of individuals they should distance themselves from to protect their mental and emotional health as they age. This might seem like simple advice, but these small shifts in behavior can profoundly impact quality of life. Understanding 3 key external factors, common traps many fall into, is crucial to creating a peaceful and purposeful life. Through Anna's story, we'll explore these seemingly simple yet powerful principles that help not only gain and maintain respect, but also live intentionally with grace and dignity. It's about more than just surviving the later years. It's about thriving with wisdom and joy. 3 things never to say. Never speak of others' weaknesses. There's an old saying that deeply resonated with Anna. Refrain from blaming others for their mistakes, exposing their flaws, or holding on to their wrongs. By following this principle, she nurtured her own virtues and avoided unnecessary misfortune. Being mindful of what we say isn't just about politeness, it's protection against the negative consequences of thoughtless words. Everyone makes mistakes. No matter how successful, intelligent, or accomplished someone seems, everyone has flaws and stumbles. It's part of being human. The people around us, regardless of their status, are also learning and evolving. Anna recognized this as a shared experience among all people, regardless of age or background. Moreover, everyone carries a sense of self-worth that deserves respect. Words are powerful, and once spoken, they cannot be taken back. Careless comments about someone's shortcomings can damage relationships, create lasting emotional wounds, and build resentment. Wise people like Anna understood this, so they avoided hastily pointing out flaws, especially in public or during vulnerable moments. Instead, they took time to see things from the other person's perspective. They knew harsh criticism could lead to shame, feelings of inferiority, or defensiveness, which could spiral into negative actions and distant relationships. What set Anna apart was her ability to offer constructive feedback carefully and thoughtfully when the time was right. She understood that true guidance helps others reflect and grow without harming their dignity. When advice comes with empathy and respect, it not only fosters improvement, but also deepens trust between people. Choosing not to speak of others' weaknesses also cultivated Anna's own virtues. Words are like a double-edged sword. They can heal and lift up, but they can also wound and leave lasting scars. By holding back from commenting on trivial flaws, she avoided unnecessary drama and created a more positive environment for everyone. People, could speak freely around her knowing they wouldn't be judged harshly. That's how healthy, loving relationships formed. In life, we constantly interact with others. By choosing not to hurt, insult, or undermine those around her, Anna opened herself to receive trust, love, and respect in return. There's so much negativity and criticism in the world. Anna chose to be someone who brought light, joy, and peace to people around her. If you find these lessons useful, please remember them as you continue reading. The power of words is immeasurable. A kind word can heal a heart, timely advice can change someone's life, and support can inspire incredible personal growth. Always choose to speak less about others' weaknesses and more about encouragement, kindness, and constructive support. This is the path of wisdom and the secret to creating lasting, meaningful relationships that enrich not only others' lives, but your own as well. Never brag about yourself. In the past, there was a belief that being praised by others was a sign of accomplishment, but praising yourself was simply seen as bragging. This lesson remained timeless and applied to all stages of life for Anna. Bragging doesn't increase self-worth. It can do the opposite, diminishing how others perceive you. As the ancient philosopher once wisely said, "Those who don't think themselves right are wise, those who don't boast have their merits recognized, and those who aren't arrogant see their endeavors prosper." These words highlight the value of humility, a virtue that fosters intellectual and emotional growth, making it not just a moral principle but a life skill. When you refrain from boasting, others recognize your worth through your actions, achievements, and how you carry yourself, not through self-congratulatory words. Truly great people, those genuinely skilled or accomplished, don't feel the need to announce their success. Their actions and results speak louder than any words could. Confidence rooted in humility doesn't need to be proclaimed. It's evident in how you respond to challenges and navigate life's ups and downs. Humble people command respect not by talking about themselves, but by letting their actions speak. This quiet confidence built on experience and integrity earns admiration without explanation. On the other hand, constant boasting only distances you from others. When someone always talks about their achievements or how much better they are than others, people begin to feel uncomfortable. They might start avoiding that person, refuse to listen to their opinions, or feel reluctant to work with them. This behavior can isolate and damage both personal relationships and professional connections. Moreover, bragging carries unnecessary pressure. When you constantly talk about how great you are, you set the bar higher for yourself, forcing you to always prove you're the best. This creates mental strain as you try to live up to an image you've created. The truth is, if you're genuinely talented, successful, or accomplished, there's no need to boast. Your actions and achievements naturally speak for themselves. Allowing accomplishments to stand on their own not only earns respect but also sets a powerful example. People are drawn to authenticity and real success, not empty words. When you let your work shine, you inspire others to strive for excellence without excessive talk or self-promotion. Remember, humility doesn't mean downplaying accomplishments. It means allowing them to be recognized without needing constant validation. True greatness is quiet, confident, and speaks for itself. Never speak meaningless or worthless things. There's an ancient story that beautifully illustrates the power of thoughtful communication. One day, a student approached his teacher and asked whether it was better to talk more or less. Instead of answering directly, the teacher shared a profound tale. The frog croaks day and night. Its mouth is dry and its insides bitter. But who enjoys its croaking? On the other hand, the bird only sings 3 times each morning and people appreciate it, grateful for how it wakes them on time. This story holds a timeless lesson. Words hold value only when spoken at the right moment, in the right context, and with genuine meaning. Meaningless chatter not only wastes time but can make others uncomfortable and diminish the speaker's credibility. In a world full of noise, understanding the power of silence and meaningful conversation is essential. Wise individuals like Anna didn't measure their worth by how much they spoke but by the depth and impact of their words. They chose to speak less but with purpose, understanding that well-chosen words can inspire, motivate, and build trust. By speaking thoughtfully and sparingly, they fostered meaningful connections and left lasting impressions. Conversely, those who speak constantly without saying much often fail to make a meaningful impact. Long-winded or aimless conversations can bore and distract listeners. When words lose their significance, they may seem to lack eloquence or depth. Excessive talking can erode influence and cause dismissal as someone lacking substance. Learning to speak less and speak well is a critical skill in both personal and professional relationships, demonstrating emotional intelligence and respect for others' time and attention. Every word should have a purpose. Anna would ask herself, do these words truly add value? Are they necessary or just noise? Being mindful of the power of words is essential to building strong, meaningful relationships. Additionally, knowing when to stay silent is equally important. Silence provides space for reflection, observation, and deeper understanding. By holding back unnecessary words, you create opportunities to listen and learn from those around you. When you do speak, your words carry more weight, making others more likely to value your input. Remember, words can either uplift or diminish. Used wisely, they motivate, inspire, and heal. Empty words leave a fleeting negative impression, passing, like wind without impact. When you speak, ensure your words have true value. Speak less, but make your words meaningful and intentional, leaving a deep and positive mark on your listeners. 3 things never to do. 1. Never compare yourself to others. Constantly comparing yourself to others is a sure path to personal frustration and unhappiness. This isn't just advice, it's an undeniable truth that echoed throughout Anna's life. When she found herself measuring her worth against someone else's, all she ended up with was exhaustion, envy, and disappointment. This was especially true when comparing herself to those whose circumstances, abilities, or life experiences were vastly different from her own. It left her feeling discouraged and robbed of any sense of genuine happiness. Every person's life is a unique journey, and no two paths are identical. Some are born into wealth and privilege, while others must overcome significant challenges to find success. If you spend time focusing on what others have, whether material possessions, achievements, or recognition, you lose sight of what truly matters: your personal growth and potential. Instead of constantly comparing, Anna learned to value what she had, no matter how small it seemed. If she felt the need to compare, she did so in a way that helped her grow. She compared herself to the person she was yesterday, asking, have I made progress today? Have I learned something new? How have I improved my life or myself today? This became the most valuable form of comparison, one that fostered self-improvement, growth, and fulfillment. It allowed her to see her progress and motivated her to keep moving forward. She remembered that everyone follows their own path with different goals, timelines, and challenges. Constant comparisons not only wasted her time but prevented her from fully living in the present moment. Life isn't a race. It's about self-discovery, personal growth, and embracing your journey. Rather than wasting energy comparing herself to others, Anna invested in enhancing her value. She learned new skills, set and achieved personal goals, and focused on her well-being. These brought real joy and fulfillment, not the constant, draining cycle of comparisons. In the end, comparing yourself to others serves no purpose and only adds unnecessary pressure. Instead, learn to appreciate and love yourself, focusing on your growth and happiness. When you stop comparing, you'll realize that true contentment doesn't come from measuring your life against someone else's. It comes from being proud of who you are and where you've come from. Never hurt others. Jealousy might feel like a unique emotion, but there's an old saying that perfectly captures its dangers. Trying to hurt others is also hurting yourself. When jealousy, resentment, or a desire to harm others arise, not only do you damage relationships, but you also trap yourself in a storm of negative emotions that disrupt your peace of mind. If you find these lessons useful, please remember them as you continue reading. It's essential to understand that every individual has their intrinsic value and faces struggles and challenges in their own life. When someone achieves something significant, instead of feeling jealous, try celebrating their success. Sharing in someone else's joy doesn't just calm your own heart. It strengthens genuine and lasting relationships. When you're happy for others, you create goodwill that ripples outward. If you find yourself feeling overshadowed by someone else's success instead of feeling defeated or trying to tear them down, allow their achievements to inspire you. There's something to learn from everyone, and seeing others succeed can serve as a powerful motivator for self-improvement. This was the mindset that Anna developed, one of maturity and commitment to personal growth. In times when others needed help, she offered it with an open heart and genuine sincerity. She understood that grand gestures weren't always necessary. Small acts of kindness and encouraging words could profoundly impact someone's day or even their life. Offering help not only strengthened bonds but created a sense of gratitude, adding meaning to her life and fostering deep connections. Living with an open heart meant avoiding toxic emotions like jealousy, anger, or resentment. It wasn't just about being kind to others. It was about creating a mindset where negativity didn't dominate. People who approached life with goodwill and authenticity, like Anna, attracted kindness and positive energy in return. She always remembered that intentions to harm others brought harm to both parties. Acts of malice often left her feeling anxious, unsettled, and out of balance. On the other hand, living with integrity, kindness, and sincerity not only enriched her relationships but created a peaceful and harmonious environment. Living with goodwill wasn't just about how she treated others, it preserved and nurtured her sense of self-worth. By refraining from causing harm, Anna not only avoided trouble, but elevated her spirit. When living with sincerity and kindness, she was surprised at how much goodness came her way, creating a deeper connection to life's true meaning. Never chase after meaningless or worthless gains. The wise know that sometimes the best path is one of moderation. They understand it's often better to accept small losses in the short term for greater, more meaningful gains in the long term. Chasing wealth for wealth's sake or seeking rewards that ultimately hold no real value only leads to emptiness. Anna discovered that true peace and stability come from living with integrity and focusing on what truly matters. A life centered on material accumulation without purpose or personal fulfillment led to burnout and disillusionment. On the other hand, those who live with generosity, who are content with what they have and take time to appreciate it, often find that life gives back more than expected. This mindset isn't just about giving to others but about being grateful for the blessings already present in your life. As many wise teachings emphasize, the key to receiving is learning to give from the heart. Whether it's your time, knowledge, or resources, when you give sincerely without expecting something in return, you open the door to receiving what's truly valuable in life. This applies not just to material goods but to emotional and spiritual rewards as well. Living a life of balance and self-respect, where you're not constantly chasing what's fleeting or shallow, brings a sense of fulfillment that no amount of material wealth can offer. True happiness isn't found in endless accumulation, but in appreciating what you already have and offering it freely to others. By focusing on giving and living with gratitude, Anna found that life provided more than she could ever chase after. These were the rewards that built a life of true happiness and stability. 3 people never to associate with. Never associate with unhappy and selfish people. The company you keep plays a significant role in shaping your emotional and mental well-being. Anna learned that associating with unhappy and selfish people was draining, as they often brought negativity and a lack of empathy into her life. These individuals prioritized their own needs and desires above all else, disregarding the emotional value of sincere relationships. Being around selfish people was like trying to build a house on an unstable foundation. It was only a matter of time before it crumbled. These people often failed to recognize the importance of mutual respect and support. They measured everything by what they could gain, disregarding others' sacrifices and contributions. The moment their interests were no longer served, they quickly turned their backs, leaving others hurt and betrayed. Selfish individuals tended to manipulate situations for personal gain, using charm and pretense to build trust only to betray that trust when it suited them. This behavior deeply wounded relationships and left Anna questioning the integrity of those around her. With such people, there was always an imbalance. You give and sacrifice, but they only take, leaving you emotionally and mentally exhausted. What's worse? Selfish people lacked empathy, the cornerstone of healthy, lasting relationships. Without honesty and genuine care, relationships with these individuals were hollow, with the constant fear of betrayal. The energy put into such one-sided relationships drained Anna, making it difficult to find true connections and support. On the other hand, surrounding herself with compassionate and empathetic people had a transformative effect. These were the individuals who valued meaningful connections and offered not just support but encouragement to help her grow. With them, she found sincerity and mutual care, nurturing emotional well-being and promoting positive values. Choosing the right people to associate with was like choosing the path for her life. When she made a conscious decision to spend time with those who shared her values, genuinely cared for her, and supported her growth, she built a solid foundation for happiness. Anna steered clear of selfish and unhappy people who drained her energy, as they only stood in the way of her happiness and personal development. Never associate with people who think only of their benefits. Selfishness is one of the most damaging qualities a person can have. People who only care about their benefits often disregard the needs and sacrifices of others. They measure everything by their gains and losses, placing their interests above relationships, emotions, and morals. This mindset leads to one-sided, exploitative relationships where only one person benefits while the other is left empty. Anna observed that selfish individuals could be manipulative, often pretending to be friendly, kind, and trustworthy to gain trust. But when it suited their needs, they wouldn't hesitate to betray friends, family, or colleagues for personal gain. The betrayal from such people cut deeply because it stemmed from a lack of genuine care or loyalty. This kind of relationship resulted in emotional scars and made it harder to trust others in the future. The damage they caused to relationships was profound, leaving her questioning her worth and others' authentic intentions. When in a relationship with a selfish person, it was like being in a one-sided arrangement. Anna was always giving her time, energy, or resources, while they only took. They never appreciated or acknowledged her contributions, leading to emotional depletion and a sense of being used. Over time, this imbalance became exhausting, mentally, financially, and physically. Such individuals often lacked the core qualities needed for meaningful, lasting relationships: honesty, empathy, and integrity. Without these foundational traits, it was impossible to build trust, and any connection shared with them was shallow and fragile. These relationships carried constant risk, as selfish people exploited or discarded others whenever it benefited them. They viewed people as stepping stones, not partners, leaving others feeling unappreciated and drained. On the other hand, when Anna chose to surround herself with compassionate people who valued relationships and offered genuine care, her life transformed. These individuals not only supported her during tough times but celebrated her successes and encouraged growth. Their presence fostered positive values and helped her become her best self. Choosing associates was a critical decision, like choosing the direction her life would take. When she prioritized relationships with trustworthy, empathetic, and supportive people, she created a strong, positive foundation. She stayed away from selfish, self-centered individuals who drained her energy and undermined happiness. Instead, Anna invested time and energy in people who brought value, kindness, and mutual respect, enhancing her journey significantly. Never associate with untrustworthy. People trust is one of the most fundamental values in human relationships. As the saying goes, without trust you live without truly knowing. Untrustworthy people not only fail to earn others' trust, but erode their own integrity and self-worth. When someone is untrustworthy, they undermine the very foundation that relationships, whether personal, professional, or social, are built on. If you find these lessons useful, please remember them as you continue reading. No matter how close Anna felt to someone, if they lacked trustworthiness, they ultimately treated her as a mere tool for their advantage. Untrustworthy individuals were willing to break promises and abandon principles if it served their immediate needs. They treated their words as nothing more than temporary instruments to gain superficial trust. only to discard them when no longer beneficial. This behavior not only damaged relationships but led to emotional harm and deep feelings of betrayal. When the truth emerged, being around such individuals wasn't only a waste of time, but could lead to serious consequences in every area of life. Trusting them typically resulted in disappointment, hurt, and instability. In professional settings, they might sabotage plans or reputation. In personal relationships, Anna experienced betrayal and deep emotional loss. Their unreliability created an environment of uncertainty, and associating with them left her feeling drained and disillusioned. On the other hand, trustworthy people built lasting and meaningful relationships. These were the individuals who kept promises, stood by their word, and operated with integrity. Trustworthy people understood that consistency in words and actions was essential to maintaining long-term trust. They valued relationships and approached life with reliability, making them true friends and dependable allies. At the core of maintaining personal dignity and character was the ability to follow through on commitments. When Anna spoke, her word reflected her values, and when she made a promise, she honored it. Trust wasn't just a personal moral standard. It was the bedrock of any lasting relationship. Associating with untrustworthy people only led to emotional fatigue, disappointment, and loss of confidence in others. In life, it was essential to choose associations carefully. Anna surrounded herself with those who kept promises, valued emotional connections, and understood the importance of trust. As the old saying goes, trust is worth more than gold. True, trustworthy relationships were priceless and deserved to be nurtured, honored, and cherished. Conclusion. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned through Anna's story. We've discussed essential principles that can truly transform how we approach life, from avoiding comparisons with others to choosing the right people to surround ourselves with. Whether focusing on self-growth, living with sincerity, or nurturing trust in relationships, these steps can help build a life that's not only more peaceful, but also more meaningful. What's one key lesson you've learned today that you're committed to practicing in your own life? Think about how you plan to make this change. Let's continue learning from each other's experiences. If you enjoyed Anna's story, please share it with others who might benefit from these insights. Remember, the wisdom of graceful aging isn't just about growing older. It's about growing wiser, kinder, and more connected to what truly matters in life. Thank you for taking this journey toward graceful aging, and may these principles guide you toward a life of deeper fulfillment and joy.